A cousin to Duchess Henrietta of Toussaint, Fringilla Vigo was a powerful sorceress in service to the Empire of Nilfgaard. In the north, magic users were allowed a great deal of freedom after graduating from training school, and so often used their skills to manipulate the nobility, create spy networks, fund businesses, and gather followers, becoming greatly feared and respected by both common folk and the elite. Yet this was not the case in the Empire, where sorcerers were viewed as tools for a job, with strict regulations set to prevent abuses of power. Aside from limiting their political ambitions, wealth, and ability to influence policy, magic users were considered of low social standing, discouraged from even changing their appearance or wearing nice clothing, which put them in stark contrast to their northern counterparts, who used spells to ensure they were the most attractive people in the continent. Despite the taboo against caring for one's own appearance, Fringilla Vigo stood out from her colleagues because she defied convention, putting effort into looking her best. A brave and cunning warrior, Fringilla fought valiantly for the Empire in the Battle of Sodden Hill during the First Northern War, where she saw her friend struck down by the enemy sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg, and in retaliation blinded her with a counterattack. Though they lost the battle and war, the Empire soon started making plans for another invasion, and it was during the Second Northern War that Fringilla broke free from the imperial restraints set upon her and attained real power. For centuries, the Brotherhood of Sorcerers oversaw the use of magic in the north, working to ensure the protection of their freedoms and privileges. But during an event called the Coup on Thanedd, the organization shattered into three factions, with many supporting the north, others the south, and some few remaining loyal to the Brotherhood. Though this fracture led to a great deal of chaos and violence, Philippa Eilhart, the most influential enchantress in the north, organized a meeting to put aside old grievances and form the Lodge of Sorceresses, a successor organization to the Brotherhood, comprised exclusively of women from all across the continent, who would work together as equals to protect magic and manipulate events as they deemed necessary. Representing the northern kingdoms, there was Philippa Eilhart, Margarita Lozantile, Triss Merigold, Kiera Metz, and Sabrina Glevizig, while Shayla de Tankerville spoke for the neutral states. Joining on behalf of the elves, there was Queen Francesca Findabair, as well as her friend and ally, Ida Emming Epsivne. Despite gathering some of the most powerful sorceresses in the continent, they still required agents in the south, and so reached out to Asir Var Anahid, contacting her through magical projection. Shocked at the incredible beauty of the northern enchantresses, Asir felt uncomfortable as she looked like a stereotypical southern witch, complete with pale skin, a hooked nose, crooked hat, and baggy black robes. Nevertheless, they reached an understanding, and Asir was even asked to help bring in another candidate she trusted to help speak for the south. Knowing exactly who to contact, she reached out to her friend Fringilla Vigo, who became the 10th member of the lodge. Although both Asir and Fringilla were risking their lives, as any hint of this association meant their execution as traitors, they were committed to using this opportunity to attain real power. As the Second Northern War continued, the Lodge focused on bringing about an end to the conflict, while at the same time capturing Princess Ciri of Sintra, a girl of enormous political, magical, and prophetic importance, hoping to train her to become their leader. Although most of Ciri's family was killed, she found a new family with Geralt of Rivia, a witcher who became like a father, and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg, who was like a mother. Yet with so many seeking to capture the princess, she was eventually separated from her parents, leaving Geralt to embark on a perilous journey to get her back. Yennefer, meanwhile, was captured and forced to become the 11th member of the Lodge, as she could be used to manipulate both Ciri and Geralt. Remembering each other from the Battle of Sodden Hill, Fringilla and Yennefer were natural enemies, and at first exchanged heated words, but much to Yennefer's surprise, Fringilla became her sole ally, breaking the rules to secretly help her escape. Armed with a new attitude and confidence, Fringilla was eager to win the respect, admiration, and envy of her colleagues in the Lodge, and so jumped at the first opportunity to make an impact. Due to her connections with the Duchess Henrietta, Fringilla was given the crucial mission of distracting the Witcher Geralt of Rivia, who was traveling through Toussaint, continuing on the mission to find his daughter Ciri, rumored to be a captive of Vilgefortz, a powerful wizard with a history of performing horrific medical experiments on young women. By delaying his progress and extracting whatever information he possessed, the Lodge could act first, moving quickly to find Ciri and defeat Vilgefortz. Although Triss Merigold had a previous connection to Geralt, her appearance in Toussaint would have been suspicious, whereas Fringilla was a frequent guest of her cousin and less likely to be thought a spy. connecting with each other immediately. It was not long before Geralt was in her bed, and the two even started to develop real feelings for each other. Yet Fringilla never forgot her mission, and when Geralt told her the location of Vilgefortz, she beamed with happiness at her success. Having delayed the Witcher for several months, she proudly presented the information acquired to the Lodge, only to learn Geralt was never fooled, and gave false information, meaning that he had actually manipulated her into explaining what happened to Yennefer, while giving him the time and resources necessary to gather new leads for his journey. This faulty intelligence then led to an embarrassing fiasco when the Lodge attempted to invade and conquer an empty castle. Realizing what occurred, Fringilla was humiliated in front of her colleagues, with her influence and reputation dashed. Shocked and confused by how badly she was defeated, Fringilla started wearing special makeup to meetings, which gave her a pale complexion, preventing anyone from seeing her cheeks redden from embarrassment. Despite this setback, Fringilla was still one of the most powerful people in the continent, and so began a long journey to rebuild her credibility.